This is not the first time we're having this kind of situation, and it's quite too early. It's quite too early. It's quite too early to start having issues, because Akpabio just recovered. Actually, he just recovered from being impeached. There were some kind of reactions towards he was just getting settled before that. He almost risked being impeached, and this situation is still on ground. I have you to please your take on this.
When you see how, if you pay attention to how the election in the chambers for the office of the Senate President went, you know that it was one of the toughest elections. In fact, as little as 6 votes would have made the difference. If Akpabio had lost 6 votes and Ndume had gained 6 votes, he would have won. So that's, and realizing that Akpabio also has the endorsement of the president. So that kind of slim chance would make you realize how strong Ndume and his people were, and their close attempt in clinching that ticket. So, and when incidents like that occur, the wisest route by the winner is to mend fences, because those that lost would further become embittered, and they'll have themselves to console themselves. And before you know, there's some kind of caucusing in the chambers. And that caucusing is a very large caucus. It's not made on party lines. And when you have such caucusing existing, it's something that would that can actually, affect your reign as a Senate president. So I had expected Akpabio to put in conscious effort in unifying the House, rather than making actions that would further make obvious the divide. This also comes to play as regards my previous statement of people abusing institutional lay-down principles and bending it to serve their own selfish purpose. Just moments ago, we were discussing how the police institution assumes that once we pick somebody and promote him ahead of you, you should just retire. And now you can see the red chambers is guided by orders and procedures. And for me to point out, there's a book, that has the point of orders and all that. It is written in clear terms, and you can't assume something that is written down. So when a senator stands up to raise a point of order and cites it on a book, the guiding law that is expected to provide decorum on the House, he is to be protected at all costs, because without that, we're just lucky that the seats in the Senate chamber seems to be fixed to the floor. If not, without that, we would have flying chairs and boxing senators. The reason why you have the book order is to ensure that we have decorum. And when you see parliamentary fights, it's more than Royal Rumble.
Yes.
You see men in Abada flinging punches. So, what Senate President Akpabio did, I've always been a fan of Akpabio. In fact, I see him as one of the politicians that choose his battles carefully. And so I'm surprised that he would allow room for some of these loopholes. Allow the man have his say. If you're overruling him, on what order are you overruling him? Is it that some persons do not have their say? Is it that the Senate President can choose to hush everybody and go ahead? And when you do that repeatedly, more so in a House that the division against you is large enough to cause some kind of opera, or some kind of upsetting some issues, it requires some level of wisdom.
This actually reminds me of the fact that it could be because of Senator Akpabio, Godswill Akpabio's office. For some reasons, the House they've come up with this reform law that should actually be bound or be binding on them, that you can't just be a Senate president without having served a term in the House. You understand? So it's somehow provoking to think that that could be the reason why he's having these problems.
Actually, Akpabio had been in the Senate. When he was in the Senate, he was, I think, when Akpabio left in 2015, when Goodluck Jonathan lost, he went to the Senate. And in his time in the Senate, he was a minority leader.
So was that not enough for him to have an experience on how to carry out this the office?
Expected, it is expected. But what you see here is politics. Like you said, there were plots of impeachment, or at least rumors of plot of impeachment. And Akpabio's action could be him trying to protect himself and his office by ensuring that, or assuming that whatever Ndume might be raising can instigate some kind of action. So that might be a way of protecting his office. There's a popular saying that a man in power will do everything within his power to retain that power.
Okay.
So, but then the options he's taking come with some kind of consequences. And also he should realize that he's leading a house that have a sharp division. If I was Akpabio, my first action would be to give these persons some sense of inclusiveness.
Exactly.
If not the leaders, at least the followers should now see that, oh, we fought war against this side and then we lost, but they've embraced us. So that is expected. But actions like this keep the sharp divide. In fact, if there are some dissatisfied members in the camp of Godswill Akpabio, if there are some dissatisfied members in the camp of Godswill Akpabio, and they decide to storm out of the arrangement, you now have a waiting block that people can align with and upstage him. You have a waiting block of senators that are willing to just have maybe 10 or 20 people join them to decide, and they upstage him. So this is something that requires wisdom, and Akpabio should do
more to come up with better approach to his office.
Exactly.